Yes.
Well, I know you're kind of getting tired of all this political talk and stuff, right?
No.
You really didn't come to hear that. I'm going, hey, cool! Look at this, I got a whole group of people. I can show them the pictures from my family vacation. I don't even need to invite you to my living room. We can just do it right here. Is this fun or what? You see, what we have here is my family vacation to the Antique Gas and Steam Engine Museum. Aren't you excited? Whoa! Yeah, it's fun for me too. Yeah, well, to have such a large group now, you just snuggle down in those comfy chairs, drink your coffee. I only have a few pictures. Hey, Lon, is it 3,029 pictures? Or is it 2,039 pictures? I'm not sure, but it's in that vicinity, so I don't know. You know, it seems like every time I show them, I start out with a really big crowd, and then people have all these unexpected emergencies. I don't get it, but I'm counting on you hanging in there, you know. Oh, the bliss of getting away from it all. It was wonderful. No more thinking about the White House stonewalling on Benghazi, the Justice Department raiding AP and Fox News, and all of our fellow Tea Party groups being targeted by the IRS. I don't have to think about that. No, I'm just going to have a little time away, exploring an antique gas and steam engine museum, and thinking about the less complicated past. Doesn't that sound like fun? Well, the only trouble was that it seemed like everything we saw reminded me of all the political issues and scandals that we're facing right now. It was like Back to the Future all over again. So one of the first things I saw was this huge international combine. Well, my mind went straight from the word international to foreign policy to Libya to the Benghazi situation. Well, why won't the president just tell us what happened? Why? Stop that, Marilyn. You're here to get away from it all, remember? Well, I had barely walked a few feet through all this huge equipment when right in front of me was this huge thing. Yep, it's a steamroller. And you know where my mind was off to. That dadgum IRS, look at how they purposely squished all those conservative organizations trying to get tax-exempt status. Man, nothing scares me more than getting an envelope with the IRS return address. How about you? Yeah, well, it would really tick me off not to hear from them once or years, some of them 3 years, when they needed to get an answer. Thank God this Tea Party never applied for the 501c3. Yes, good or not? Yeah. Well, turning to look at all those tractors and combines and steamrollers, set my mind flying again across the state to Northern California, where I saw this. Yes, that is a VW bug on legs. There is no question in my mind that somebody bugged a whole lot of phones, including the latest revelation today that you heard about from Brad Dacus. The National Security Administration is getting information about every single Verizon customer. Raise your hand if you're a Verizon customer. They got your number. And that ain't funny, is it? Well, let me tell you. You gotta stop this, Marilyn. This is your day off. You're taking a vacation. Deep breath. So then we get into this big shed filled with smaller equipment, some of which were used inside farmhouses back in those days. And what's the first thing I see? An old Ringer washing machine. Now, I don't know about you, but some of us are old enough to remember those. In fact, I remember doing the laundry for my mom and getting my hand caught in the wringer. I did that. So anybody else? Somebody else. You're as stupid as I was. Okay, well anyway, it's the same feeling I get, that squishy hand feeling in my heart when I hear that James Rosen at Fox News had his business and personal personal email stolen by the Justice Department. Who's next? Who's next? Is it you? Is it you or you? Well, is it your Verizon account? What's the answer to that?
Yes.
Yes. I won't go so far as to say damn yes, because I don't speak like that, but oh well. You know, too many people today are sheep. They just do whatever they're told or follow what their friends are doing. They don't stand up against injustice like what we just saw from Greg and his videos. Well, my thoughts were flying all over the place when I turned around and saw this piece of equipment. Bet you don't know what that one is. Well, it's a treadmill. Yeah, it's a treadmill. I mean, I know, I looked at it about 25 times too, trying to go, what's with the treadmill? Well, you see those wood planks? Well, no person would want to walk on that treadmill, but if there was some incentive to keep walking and walking and walking, why, that accounts for the food trough on the front. You see, you just put a little goat in there, and you add the food, and presto, you have mindless consumption at the government trough. I mean, they'll do it forever, right? It's just like those lousy EBT food stamp cards that the Obama administration advertises. In order to get more customers hooked into entitlements. Good system, yes or no? Well, we think it's no, they think it's yes. Well, I went straight from that thought back to the IRS again. I leaped across the state mentally when I thought about how the other end of the financial spectrum, that is government employees, how they are doing their part to rip off the system. How about those that total of $50 million conferences with certain top dogs staying in the executive suites? Yeah, well, my recent visit to the women's restroom at the Madonna Inn came to mind. Yeah, that was only part of it. That's just the stall doors. You should see the rest of it. And I thought of the IRS again. I told you, I kid you not, I have no control where my brain roams. No. Back to farm equipment, Marilyn. So, don't you feel like we're just being stabbed in the back? Yeah. Every time you hear another story about how the government is ignoring the First Amendment, freedom of press with the AP, or the freedom of religion in relation to Obamacare, or trying to limit the Second Amendment gun rights, or, I have to wait here, but you're far more interested in my vacation pictures, I'm sure. I'm sorry, I don't need to get off on these tangents. So here's another wonderful thing I found. It's called the auto car. It's called the auto car because you really don't have to have anyone sitting in it driving it. And that's exactly what's happening in Washington right now. No one is driving the car and no one is answering questions. Oh my gosh. That rat is hiding in his hole, refusing to answer questions and darting down to distract us with something else, running to New Jersey or some other place, and then he's hiding back into his hiding hole. I'll tell you, there's something definitely missing in Washington. Yeah, information from the transparency president. Yep, no question about it. We're getting screwed. No, I tried this. I was pulling at my Medusa hair. No, please. I got so distressed over this whole situation, I asked Lon, so how big is this problem? He says, it's this big, Marilyn. Then I glanced down at the ground and I saw my future. I'm cracking up. Please, Lord, take me away from this place. It's driving me crazy with this reminder of the politics. Let's go someplace to eat, please. So where did we end up? Yeah. Yeah, we really did. And their menu, no consolation whatsoever. Those are the little green balls of death. That's real. Yeah. I'm telling you, there are dark clouds everywhere. No, I don't want any more dark clouds in my life. I just want life to be what I thought it was before for the last 40 years. Tranquil and serene and restful and peaceful. That's what I thought it was. I want it again. I want to practice my religion without being threatened. And I don't want the government to give me the runaround. That's why I went to the Redlands City Council 2 weeks ago. Remember the petition I asked you to sign? Well, I took it in, and I threw it out onto the floor in front of them, and I said, I'm here to represent all the people who signed this petition. Yeah, well, I got chastised for that one by the City Council. The newspaper, they said, where are all those Tea Party members when we're going to talk about the budget? Well, that was what I was talking to them about, was fiscal responsibility. That's what the petition was all about. So, I didn't like being chastised. And, some people say, I don't get mad, I get even. Not me. I get mad and I get even because I went back again. So Tuesday night, I was there. And following Sam Wong's principle of inform, educate, and advocate, what is that? I reminded them of this. This is what I said. We Tea Party people are no longer the silent majority, but a voice in the political process, despite being vilified by our president, who called us a national threat, being denounced by the former Speaker of the House, who embraced the Occupy movement, which resulted in quite a few deaths, as you remember, being targeted by our own government, including the IRS and the EPA and the NSA and all the other initials that Brad talked about. And then Sam and the rest of the Tea Party being chastised by the City Council for failing to show up at their practically unknown special budget meeting. Now this is today's paper. How many of you get it? Well, you should all be getting the Redlands Daily back so that you would know when Sam and I get the front page news. Because it says, minutes before the City Council meeting session began Tuesday night, Mayor Pro Tem Paul Foster chatted with Sam Wong, a member of the Redlands Tea Party Patriots. Now, that was good news. Sam was so nice to them. He congratulated them for doing work and for helping to educate and inform him about the budget. They didn't like me quite as well. They said, Marilyn Snyder, a Redlands Tea Party Patriots cabinet member, lambasted the City Council. I didn't even raise my voice. I didn't want it lambasted. I thought it was being polite. The City Council for chastising her group for not attending that meeting. Well, son of a gun, folks, we didn't know about it. How were we supposed to know about it? Well, unfortunately, we didn't. However, what we also got in the paper today was this opinion piece, which is a letter signed by, are you ready for this? Mr. John Barry, Mr. Lon Snyder, Mr. Richard Marshall, Mrs. Joanne Marshall, and yours truly. And your piece is great. Carolyn's names are on yours because we didn't do it in time, so how about that? We're not going to have any mercy on them at all. So, it's not easy being a patriotic American, is it? No. It's especially galling because we aren't standing out there with our palms out, looking for a handout like most groups. The Tea Party simply wants three things. What are they? The first one is free markets. The second one is, and the third. That's right. That's all we get. And I told them so. I said, we aren't here like the bikers wanting to have special bike lanes. We only want you to be fiscally responsible. So we want the best. That's what we want. We want the best. And that's what we should be. You want to know what the best is? Well, it's people like Lane Schneider. Wave your hand, Lane. Yeah. And Stephen, who showed up at the tax day rally, and his sisters like Esther Robert and Karen Chambers. Stand up, ladies, please. Stand up. Stand up. Yes. How many of you have you guys been watching this ad? Seeing it shows up all over the newspaper Well, how many so far? 3? Well, you check them out. I have them down there at the table. And not only did they do that, they paid for that themselves. They also attended the IRS protest rally in San Bernardino along with some of our other friends. There you'll see Lynn Simonson. She's out in Banning or something like that. And Asensio, he's the one who has the cool old car. And then we have people who ask questions. They're the ones who are the best. Let me ask you one. How many of you were politically active 5 years ago? Look around the room. You don't see my hand up. I wasn't politically active 5 years ago, neither was Lon. We Americans love the public and congressional scrutiny that the IRS and the Department of Justice and that the State Department are getting. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. We Americans are a unique people. We're not afraid to make our feelings known, and we don't expect to find the government at our door, listening to our phones or reading our emails. We're experiencing a revitalization of the Tea Party. Now we know why we didn't get that huge growth after 2010, because they were stifling us. They were stifling us. They made sure to think about it. Did they throw the election or what? They threw the election. That's what that was. Now, we know that we can, as you heard tonight, we can rise stronger. We can be even stronger than we are if we have one thing, and that is, in addition to the revitalization, is if we have hope. If we have hope. That's what Greg was talking about. We've got to have hope. We can't lose it, because we never know what tomorrow will bring. I mean, did we ever imagine a month ago that the mainstream press would rise up and question the president and question Jay Carney? Did you think that could happen? I mean, I'm sitting there in amazement going, God bless America! Woohoo! Well, we may not have this hope anymore, but you can do it. We don't have him, but we can do it. You can convert your families, friends, and neighbors to our cause. As Greg said, invite one person. You can encourage your friends, neighbors, or think about yourself running as a conservative candidate to run for city council and school board. And you can attend the Leadership Institute in September, so you'll know how to do the things that we need to do to make a huge difference in the 2014 election. So yes, you, that is, we, the people, can save our country for our children and our grandchildren, because we Americans are the what? Best